Hey there, you guys. So, first of all, I'm sorry about the lateness of this video. I know I said yesterday that I was going to put up a video and talk to you about follow-up. And then I had a bunch of stuff hit me yesterday afternoon with my daughter. She lives about 5 hours away. And then today I had my grandson all day, so I couldn't really do a whole lot. So I think it's like 9, something after 9 now. And I realize that I'm going to have to kind of do this in parts, okay? Because there are things that I want to talk with you about and show you that I do, but then I also want to kind of show you how you use your workstation to help you with follow-ups, okay? So we're going to start this first part here, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a, explanation and things like that, and I'm going to show you and talk to you just a little bit about what I do, okay, when it comes to following up with my customers, okay? So, first of all, just a little talk. I know that the majority of you have not been, with Scentsy for, very long. I have been with Scentsy now for a year and a couple of months, okay? And so during that time, I have basically the majority of what I have learned and what I do, I have learned on my own. I have, looked it up on, YouTube and watched videos and watched trainings. I go through my workstation and the news tab and things like that, and just try to find information that I can. Okay. I also utilize the groups that we are in on Facebook to get information, pictures, flyers, tips, selling tips, and things like that. Okay. The next thing is, all right, this is my job. Okay, this is all that I do to earn money. Okay, my own money. I left teaching back in October, just because of the state of teaching and being in the public school system and things like that. It wasn't good for my mental health, and so I left in October. And since then, I have been at home full time. Working my Scentsy business, and also taking care of my household, helping to take care of my mother-in-law's household. My wife works 60, sometimes 70 hours a week, and so I take care of things while she's at work. Now, over the year plus that I have been a consultant, I have built up, somewhat of a customer base, okay? I think right now I have had over 80 customers within the past year, a little over a year. But I probably have like a core base of maybe like 30 or 40 that order from me consistently, okay? And one of the things that is very important, and the reason that I have been able to keep those consistent customers, is follow-up, okay? So what do you do, right, when someone orders from you? When they place an order with you, what do you do? What are your steps, right? So let's talk about that, okay? So now, you guys know that when a customer orders with you, there are a couple ways they can do that, right? They can order straight from your website, right? Where they have to enter their name, their email, their phone number, their address, right? All of that information. They place their order. It ships to them. You get the notification, that you had an order, a PWS order, right? Personal website order. And then, it goes from there, right? The other way that orders are placed is that, someone gets in touch with you, they tell you what they want to order, they send you the money, and then you place the order yourself, either through your workstation, right, on the back end, or you go through your personal website and you place it. Okay. Now, so those are the two ways that a customer can place an order with you. And that is entirely up to you, right? I will say that dealing with, a customer placing an order directly with you and then you having to put the order in, collect money and all that kind of stuff, that can be time consuming. It can be a little frustrating at times because you're trying to figure out how you can get that payment from them. And a lot of times it's really just a lot easier for, you to send them a link and for them to place the order themselves, okay? Because then once the order is placed, then it's up to you as far as, what you do, okay? Now, if you want that customer to be a repeat customer, right? Somebody that comes back to you every month or every couple of months when they need a refill on wax or pods or, laundry, whatever the products are that they are buying. You have to follow up with them. You have to make sure that they know that they are appreciated and how much their business means to you as a small business owner, right? We are independent consultants, which means we're basically a middleman, right, between Scentsy and our customers, okay? We earn a commission off of the products that we sell for Scentsy. And we kind of have a lot of freedom when it comes to the way that we do that. But of course, there are lots of things, that you have to keep up with as far as Scentsy standards and Scentsy compliance about the ways that you can post things, the ways that you can't post things, especially like when it comes to licensed products, like, the Disney products, DC, Marvel, that kind of thing. So if you have not read the Scentsy standards, okay, and compliance, I will get them on our group as soon as possible, okay? But back to follow-up, right? So remember when I said if they place an order on the website, right, they have to put in their information. They have to put in their name, phone number, email, address, all of that, right? So that Scentsy knows how to get in touch with them if something goes wrong with their order. They need their address, of course, for shipping. And, that collects all of that information for you, the consultant, to then be able to use to follow up with them, whether you're doing it by email, phone call, or text message, right? Or even mail, okay? So, just to kind of tell you a little bit about what I do, okay? Well, let me back up. It is important to follow up with your customers, okay? It is important to thank them for their order. It is important to let them know about shipping, right? If their order has shipped, so that they know to be looking out for it. Even though they'll get an email as well, but if you keep up with that stuff too, then that's just that extra little bit that lets them know that they are important and you are keeping up with their order, okay? Now, if you are taking orders and entering them on your workstation for the customer, right? Please make sure that you are entering that order in for the customer, okay, and not for yourself. Because when you go in to do an order, it asks you, is the order for a customer or for yourself, okay? Now, to be able to keep track of who you are putting orders in for, right? When a customer places an order with you like that, you need to get their complete name, their phone number, their email, their shipping address, okay? And their mailing address, because sometimes the shipping address and the mailing address is different, okay? I have a couple of customers that do not get mail at their house. They have P.O. boxes, but you can't ship to a P.O. box, okay? It has to ship to a physical address. And so you need both of those, because if you decide to send Happy Mail which we'll talk about that in another video. You're going to need their mailing address, not just their shipping address, because if you use the shipping address but they don't get mail at their house, then it's going to get returned to sender. I've got a couple of those now that I've got to get in there and get straightened out, okay? So, getting complete contact information from each person that orders from you or that you give samples to, okay? That is important because you need to be able to go back to that person, in a few days or a week, or a couple of weeks, depending on the situation, and talk with them about their experience, right? Are they happy? Are they not happy? Is there something wrong? Is there something that you need to take care of, right? Making your customers feel important is what is going to cause them to come back to you, right? Staying in contact with them is going to help them come back to you, right? And be repeat customers. Because if that customer feels appreciated and important to you, right, then they're going to keep coming back for more. And you need that in order to build your business, but you also need that to get referrals, right? For them to tell somebody else, like, hey girl, you need to talk to my Scentsy lady, right? She is really awesome. She keeps up with me. She gives me samples of new stuff that comes out. She keeps me up to date on sales, right? And things like that. So, when I said that last week with the flash sale, right, I had some orders. But I would not have gotten those orders if I had not worked my follow-up system, okay? And I'm not going to sit here and say I have a perfect follow-up system because I don't, okay? I don't. I am still learning. You guys, I am a very, very new consultant. You guys are newer than I am. But like I said, I'm still trying to figure out how to be a leader for you guys, specifically because I am still learning. I'm still trying to get down the things that work well for my business, okay? We are all very busy. We all have children. We have lives, and then we also have this side business. Now, I know not all of you work your Scentsy business like I do. Y'all have, day jobs, and you have, like Miss Erica, she's got a couple of different things she does. I know Chasta, she works full time. So does Holly. And Crystal has, a few different businesses, and she works full time. Okay. So I know y'all don't work y'all's business like I do. But at some point, if you decide that that's what you want to do, right? I want to share what I do know, okay, and what has worked for me, okay? So let's get into that, okay? So, first things first is that I use my workstation, but I tend to use my Google Drive more, okay? So when I began as a consultant last year, I was a teacher for almost 9 years. And during that time, I became very sufficient and, good at using the Google apps, right? So like Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Forms, all of those apps that come free, right, with a Gmail. And basically those are just like, other versions of like Microsoft Word, right, Excel, and things like that. The thing about Google Drive is that it's all saved in your cloud, right, and it's all connected with your email. And so because of those years that I had previous of using those apps, I immediately started using them for my business, okay? And the first thing that I started doing was keeping track of my customers in a Google Sheet, okay? Which is basically just, a database. And so I'm gonna show y'all real quick. Like, this is my my monthly printout, okay, that I use. And basically it has all of my customers in this spreadsheet. It has their name, their email, their address, split up, street, if they have an apartment, city, state, zip. I have their phone number. I also have a column for the last time that they purchased. And then I also have a column where I keep track of how many orders they have placed with me. Okay. This last column that I have over here is like kind of to let me know like if somebody's had a party or something like that. And I will be honest, that's something I don't keep up with a whole lot. But that's just because my business doesn't, at this point, partying does not play a big role in my business. And that's not necessarily a good thing, okay? Because partying, having Scentsy parties where you share Scentsy goodies with people, right? It's kind of difficult for me right now. I haven't quite gotten a grasp on that yet, okay? But this information that I have in this spreadsheet, okay, helps me to number one, know who orders for me the most. In the spreadsheet I have a different one for every month. At the end of every month I update it and change it, and then I print it out so that I know who ordered for me in the last 3 months. So you can see like I've got green, yellow, pink, right? And those are the customers that ordered last month, the month before that, and then the month before that. So my last 3 months of customers are color-coded and they stand out. And then everything else below, it just goes the month before, the month before, the month before. And the second sheet goes all the way back to June of last year, so a year ago. Now, you can get the same information off of your workstation, okay? But if you are putting in orders as yourself instead of with your customers' names and information, then you're not going to have this, okay? You're not going to have this information in your workstation. So if at this point so far in your business, you have not been collecting that information from your customers, please start now, okay? Start now. Because right now, even though you may only have 20 or 30 customers, what if in a couple of years, if you're still with Scentsy, you have 130 customers, right? You need to be able to have that contact information, that current contact information. So if you need to contact that person, you can go right to it and get in contact with them, okay? So I keep this spreadsheet. Every time I get a new customer, I add it into my spreadsheet. And I am constantly going back in my workstation to like the first few months, the first 6 months that I was a consultant, and adding in the customers where I was putting in their orders as myself instead of in their names. Okay. That's why I say start now collecting all that information so you don't have to go backwards. Okay. And so I am able to, at the end of every month, I'm able to see all of the people that order for me that month. I'm able to send them some sort of thank you mail. And I'll also send out information about sales and things like that. I try to send out a weekly email. Sometimes it ends up being a monthly email or a bi-weekly email. It just depends on life, right? I'm still working on everything. Still a work in progress, right? Always. And, but every month I try to send out something to everyone that is on this list, okay? Of course, the ones that have ordered most recently get the most. And the ones that have ordered not so recently, they may get a postcard or something like that, okay? So, I say all this to say, follow up is where your money is at, okay? That is where your money is at. Am I saying you need to be messaging somebody every day? No. Am I saying you need to message them every week? Also, no. It depends on the customer and what information you have to share with them. Okay? So like last week when we had that flash sale, I knew it was going to be big. I've seen a couple of flash sales so far. I know how the one was back in March. It was huge. It took forever for them to ship everything out, but the savings that, my customers got was awesome. And so some of them already knew what a flash sale was. And so what I did was I went through my contacts, right? I went through this list and I sent out as many messages as I could, okay? And told them, hey girl, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to make sure that you knew about the flash sale that we're going to be having. It's going to be up to 70% off. These sales are huge. Let me know if you'd like for me to remind you and send you a link once it goes live. That was it. That was all I sent. Okay. And of course, I had some people that didn't respond. That's going to always be the case, right? But I did have people that responded like, yeah, this is my jam. This is when I stock up and, yeah, please remind me, send me a link, so I can see what's going on. And so I did that. Once I got those messages back, I made sure that the day of the flash sale that I sent them a message and reminded them what time it would go live. I sent them the link from to my webpage, because when things like that happens, whenever you go to your website, it's always going to be right there on the first page when you log in. Okay, so all they had to do was go to my link, go to my website, and as soon as they got there, they would see where it said flash sale, and all they had to do was click on that, and then it would take them straight to the flash sale. So by doing that, I ended up with, I think, 8 orders for the flash sale. Okay. And I think I went from like 150 PRV that morning to over 600 PRV by the end of the day. Okay. Now, I don't say that to brag, okay, at all. I was thankful because in June, my total PRV was only like 300, I want to say. I mean, my check wasn't but like $78, okay, for this month. I mean, for last month. But my check last week from Cincy was only like $78. That's my only income, guys, besides asking, telling my wife, hey, I need some money, right? And so me sitting down to do that helped me to where I doubled my paycheck for next month, right? And I need that because I don't know about y'all, but I hate asking somebody for something. Okay, doesn't matter if it is my wife. I hate asking for stuff. So, that's going to help me for next month, and that's what I have to keep in mind because sometimes you just don't feel like doing things. But if you just follow up with people, message them randomly. Hey girl, I was thinking about you. How you doing? You never know. Somebody might have needed that message that day, right? And you made their day. And that might make them, be like, you know what? Hey, I need some wax. Let me hit her up. Also, don't think of following up with somebody as just, I've got to call or I've got to text them. Following up with them could be, if you're friends with them on social media, when you see a post, right? Like it, make a comment. Let them know that you care about them as more than just a customer. because that's what needs to happen. They need to become family to you. And that just kind of deepens the relationship and builds your customer base and your customer loyalty. Okay. I have a few customers that I gained from a party last year in September. Had a huge party last year in September. It was a house, in-home party and a Facebook group party too. And that party ended up with over $1,000 in sales. It blew me away. It was my first big month. But from that, I gained about 6 or 7 different customers that have continued to shop with me since then. Okay. And I have a few customers that, they see other consultants on their Facebook. And they see what those consultants post, and then they message me about it, right? Because they're loyal to me. And I'm so grateful for that. You just don't even know. I'm so grateful for that. And, a lot of times I question, like, why? Why is that? Why do they come back to me when they could very well go to somebody else? And that's what you have to keep in mind. What is going to help you stick out in somebody's mind? What is it that you bring to the table that is different from the other one down the street? Because we all know that there's plenty of Scentsy consultants around here. Okay. I live in Lumber Bridge. My next door neighbor is my sponsor for Scentsy. So she sells Scentsy. The star director of our team, Michelle, and her daughter, Caitlin, they live in Parkton. And, they're just everywhere. Okay. I know some of y'all live towards Pembroke. There's plenty of them there. When I was working at Pembroke Middle, there was, I want to say 2 or 3 other ones that were there as well. But I have loyal customers from there that that shop with me because of what I do and how I treat my customers. Okay. And that's the thing. You have to treat them like their family for them to understand how important they are to you. Okay. So, that's basically the first section of this follow-up, training information. Okay. Make sure you get all their contact information. Keep up with it. Make sure that it is entered into your workstation. Especially if you are not familiar with Google. Okay, and I'll do a training on that as well later, because honestly, this saves me a lot of, whatever. A lot of people use their workstation exclusively, and that's awesome if you have every customer's contact information entered into your workstation. That is the only way it's going to work, is if you have all of your customers' contact information entered into your workstation. Okay? If you don't, that's not going to work for you. So, starting tomorrow, right? Look through your workstation, look back over your customers, check to see if you have their contact information, all of it. If not, reach out to them and be like, hey, I don't mean to bother you, but I was wondering, could I get, your email, whatever information you don't have for them, right? Can I get this information for you so I can enter you into my system? I'm trying to update all of my stuff so that I can make sure that I follow up with you and make sure that you're having the best experience possible. That's it. That's it. And then once they give you that information, go into your workstation and enter that customer's information under your contacts. Okay? And I will show you guys how to do that as well in another training. Okay? So, start wherever you're at. Go backwards. Get all that information. Make those contacts. You've got a reason to reach out. We've got 10% off this month on the catalog. We're going to a new catalog next month, so everything's on sale. We also have our discontinuing products that are 20% off, and they can stock up. All the bundle and saves are on sale, and you've even got those warmer bundles, right? We have the Stitch collection that's out. We have the Moana collection coming out on Tuesday. There's a lot going on this month that you need to let your customers know about, okay? And you need to make sure that they know that you are there for them, whatever questions they have. If they know somebody that might be interested in Scentsy, just reach out to your past customers over the next couple of days. Get their contact information, let them know what's going on, send them a link from your website and be like, hey girl, I just thought you might want to know all this stuff is 20% off. Here's the link. You can shop from the link, and you'll get some thank you mail from me. Okay? Something. All right? Get those sales. We've still got half the month left. Right now, Miss Erica is in number 1. She is like $80 away from being active this month, so that means she's sitting at 120 PRV. So, y'all can do awesome things. I know each and every one of you. Y'all can do awesome things. Just, it's up to you to decide whether you want it or not. Okay? I'm not going to lie. I have to work hard. I have to work hard for what sales I do get. Y'all see me on Facebook. I have my personal Facebook. I have a VIP group. This past week, I've had 2 different Facebook group parties going on. Which, one of them is a complete and total flop. The other one's a little okay. But, it is what it is, right? I just have to keep trying every day. And so, like tomorrow, I am going to be following up with the rest of my peoples that I sent out monthly mail to, okay? And making sure that they got their mail, seeing what they liked, trying to, just reminding them about everything that's on sale, and going from there. Because, I want as high PRV as I can get, because I need that paycheck, right? I need that 25%. So, follow up, guys. Follow up. Talk with your customers. That's where it's at, okay? If you have any questions, just comment below. I'll message you or give me a call, whatever. But there will be more videos coming, because I know that this is a big topic, and there's a lot of different moving pieces. But the biggest thing I want you to take away from this video is get their information, reach out to them, whether it's to say thank you, or hey girl, I was thinking about you, or hey, did you know about this sale going on? I don't want you to miss it. Okay? So y'all have a great rest of your night. If you see this tonight, if you see this tomorrow, I hope you have a great day, and y'all be good.